After being homebound for almost 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we decided to cautiously step out for a small break. Despite all 4 of us in the family having been fully vaccinated, we decided not to take risks and zeroed in on an isolated forest resort on the fringes of the Sariska Forest Reserve in Rajasthan. We booked a 2-night stay at Sterling Sariska Resort in Thanagazi district. We started from home in Gurgaon, in our self-driven car on the 25th of August 2021, having arranged for all COVID protection, face masks, sanitizers, etc. Around 10 in the morning, we stopped at a McDonald's outlet near Manesar for our breakfast comprising burgers, French fries, and Coke.
কোথায় এসছো?
ম্যাকডোনাল্ডে
মানেসারে।
মানেসারে ম্যাকে খাচ্ছি।
আচ্ছা, গুড। মা তুমি কি নিয়েছো?
আমিও ম্যাকে হালকা রাখছি যাতে লাঞ্চটা ভালো করে খেতে পারি।
হ্যালো, আমি সবচেয়ে হেভি ম্যাক চিকেন বার্গার খাচ্ছি।
আর আমি ম্যাকালু টিক্কি। এই যে
We stopped at Nimrana Palace Hotel, just off the main highway, NH48 to Jaipur. It is a 15th century fort palace, converted into a hotel, built on a plateau of the 2 billion years old Aravalli Ranges over 25 acres of land. We resumed our journey after a brief halt, admiring the structure and the surrounding valleys. Around 2 p.m., we reached Bera where we stopped for lunch at the Highway King Restaurant. The strip mall housing this eatery had many brand stores and was very well maintained with well-groomed lawns and neat pathways. The eatery was huge and served delicious food. We ordered noodles, French fries and lime soda. After lunch, we stopped to shop at a handicraft store in the mall, with a beautiful collection of handmade tribal art, jewelry and apparel. We then proceeded to Sariska through miles of verdant pastures, lined with distant hillocks and dotted with small villages and farmlands. Cows and buffaloes lazing around and the occasional temples in fields and on top of the hillocks added to the beauty of the journey. We reached our destination, Sterling Sariska Resort, right outside the Sariska Forest Reserve, at around 4 p.m. The resort had around 12 cottages set around a well-manicured lush green lawn and amid a profusion of rose hedges and flower beds. We checked in and went to our 2 cottages. The cottages were very comfortable, with a huge bedroom, a changing room and a large bathroom. It included facilities to make tea and coffee. A small porch and courtyard with garden chairs added to the charm. As the sun was setting on the horizon, we spotted a number of peacocks perched on the top of trees surrounding the resort. Around 9 in the night, we went to the restaurant for dinner. The buffet dinner was sumptuous and well prepared and had a large number of choices. The next day, the 26th of August, we woke up to the chirping of birds. We could identify some of them like the black drongo, parrots, storks, Indian peafowls, black-breasted quails and cuckoos. The rest of the many other birds we could not identify. A beautiful peacock walked into our lawn and strolled around, giving us a view of its beautiful plumage.
আমাদের কটেজ এইটা, আমাদের এটা মা বাপির। সারা রাত ময়ূর কাউ 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 করেছে, সারা রাত ওরা কথা বলেছে।
After a buffet breakfast at the restaurant, we started for Alwar through a road winding through the Sariska forest. On our way we came across a number of sambhars and monkeys. We made a short stop outside the Sariska Palace Hotel, which was the shooting location of popular Hindi films like Karan Arjun and Sajan Chale Sasural. Since it is private property, we could not go inside and instead photographed the palace from outside. We came across Kushalgarh Fort at a distance on a hillock near Kushalgarh village. Next we stopped at a barrage near Devtalao Mandir, situated by the side of a forested hill, providing a beautiful landscape. We reached Alwar City Palace or Vinay Villas Palace at around noon. The palace has been converted to a court and hence the entrance is filled with lawyers' offices. The palace was built by Raja Bakhtiyar Singh in the year 1793. The building is a perfect example of Indo-Islamic architecture. A part of the complex houses the museum where a rich part of its history has been preserved. In the Golden Darbar Hall at the City Palace, there is a raised platform upon which rests a golden velvet throne. Musi Maharani Ki Chhatri at the back of Alwar City Palace is a magnificent double-storied structure and is a treat for the eyes. The veranda offers a beautiful view of the valleys and hills all around. This epic monument was built by Vinay Singh in the memory of the ruler of Alwar, Maharaja Bakhtiyar Singh, and his queen, Rani Musi, who committed sati or self-immolation on her husband's pyre. It is an elegant monument, shaped like a flower and built with a blend of brown sandstone and white marble. The first story is made in sandstone while the upper story and chhatri or cenotaphs are made in white marble. Its carved pavilion has domed arches with exquisite floral tracery and patterns. There are intricate designs that shine brilliantly under sunlight. Bala Killa, on a hilltop, can also be seen from here. The Sagar Kund beside the Chhatri offers a pleasant view with its green algae-filled water. The scene is a romantic blend of red, white, pastel shades and the green of the algae. Our next destination was Vijay Mandir Palace, which was the royal residence of Maharaja Jai Singh. As of now it is boarded up and one can't enter the palace. The splendid architecture of the place can be viewed from the other side of the lake by which this palace is situated. We then went to Al Laziz restaurant for lunch. We ordered garlic naan, handi mutton and lemon soda. The food was delicious. As we drove back towards Sariska Forest, we came across Sariska Fun City, which is an amusement park. We had some refreshments, took some photographs and drove on to our next destination, Neelkant Mahadev Temple. Driving through forests and fields, we started winding up our way through hills. We stopped at a viewpoint on a hilltop from where we could admire the lush green Sariska National Park and its hills in the far-off horizon. As we proceeded further, we came across a number of peahens and peacocks. Some of the peacocks were dancing with the plumage raised, providing us with an unforgettable scene. We finally reached the ancient Neelkant Mahadev temple deep inside Sariska National Park. This temple, in the Rajgarh Tehsil, in Alwar district, is dedicated to Lord Shiva and was built between the 6th to 9th century CE by Maharajadhiraja Mathandeva, a local Pratihara king. Around the main temple is a cluster of around 300 Hindu and Jain temples that speak volumes about Indian architecture. The pillars in these temples have intricately carved mythological figures. The undamaged temple spire leaves one spellbound. A little distance away is a Jain temple built using orange-red sandstone, with a gigantic statue of the 23rd Jain Tirthankara. We then returned to our resort around 8:30 in the night. After freshening up, we went to the restaurant for dinner. At our request, the staff had kindly prepared, especially for us, some authentic Rajasthani dal bati churma, which we enjoyed thoroughly along with the well laid out buffet. The next day, the 27th of August, we had a delicious breakfast and checked out of the resort. We then proceeded to Silisayat Lake through lush green forests. Around 9 in the morning we reached Silisayat Lake Palace atop a hill, surrounded by the placid and beautiful Silisayat Lake. Built by Maharaja Vinay Singh in 1845, the Silisayat Lake Palace has been converted into a hotel which is managed by the Rajasthan Tourism Development Corporation. The palace offers a beautiful view of the lush green hills all around and the magnificent lake, which stretches over an area of 10.5 square kilometers. The palace has a rooftop restaurant while the lake offers boating facilities. We finally resumed our journey back home to Gurgaon, stopping for lunch only after reaching Gurgaon.